Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you, live from Airplay Beats, for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. People, when you talk about a voice of a goddamn generation, when you talk about a goddamn voice of an organization, when you roll up into a building and all you hear is your Sacramento Kings. This is my next guest. If you don't know who the fuck I'm talking about, we're talking about Scott Freshour in the building. Over Zoom.
Wow, probably the best intro I've ever been given. Thank you.
Hey, I was just trying to match your stamina there, buddy.
Hey, I'm fueled by coffee now, man. Back in the day, it was all like just young man. Now I'm old. I need coffee. I need a lot of coffee to do my job.
Hey, man. So thanks for coming through. There you go. Hey, thanks for coming through, man. Really appreciate it. Probably the biggest guest that we've had on here. Let's get started, man. Where are you from?
Man, I am from the mountains, dude. I grew up in a super small area. You've probably seen signs for Redding, California. That's where I grew up.
We used to play in the what was that? The tournament up there.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Calvada. It was one of the high schools. Started with a C. We used to play up there.
Foothill, Cottonwood.
Maybe Cottonwood.
Well, if you go a little bit farther up into the hills, there'll be a little area kind of near Whiskeytown Lake. And I grew up out in the mountains out there, man. I grew up in a really small town, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Got my humble beginnings. I just kind of grew up outdoors. I was like an outdoor kind of a kid, always like playing outside, running into the dirt, scraping my knee, climbing trees, swimming in lakes.
Yeah, you still got people out there?
No, not anymore, unfortunately. But it was actually the location of a pretty big fire from a couple years ago, the car fire. Not the campfire that was over in the Chico area. This was the first one. Yeah, a lot of the forests that I grew up in were damaged in that car fire. It kind of sucks.
Man. Yeah. God bless.
Man.
All right. So, from Redding, California, how'd you get to Sac?
Oh man. So when I was in high school, the Kings were the hottest thing in the world, man. That was the Chris Webber, Vlade, Mike Bibby. That was those days. But I was no athlete. I was an art student. I was on track to go to college for graphic design. And so I was in all these advanced placement art courses. And so I spent a lot of my time in high school, like doing artwork, like surrounding the Kings. And actually, I should pull some of that out and show some.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they'd be interested in it at some point. But I found myself drawing a lot of like Chris Webber dunking, and then I would do like a pointillism portrait of Bobby Jackson, and then like I would just do all these different styles about the Sacramento Kings. And so my goal was to come to Sacramento and work for the Kings as a graphic designer. That was my goal when I was in high school, man. And so I was able to come into Sacramento State college, where I was going to be an art major, because I had seen like on the Kings website that like they were looking for interns in graphic design. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to this college. I'll do graphic design. I'm going to get with the Kings. So I moved to Sacramento, more so that I could just attend the games. Cause I mean, dude, you remember that team, man? It was fire, man. That was like a Beatles concert. You couldn't get into these things. And so like I lived in Sac and I was able to go to it. Yeah. So like I ended up in Sacramento going to Sac State, and I actually changed my major eventually over to communications. And so that's kind of how I ended up in Sacktown, man.
Okay. No, that's shit, man. That's a great story. So you came from Redding, you came to Sac State, communications major. Who are you talking to? Because this story
to get to this point.
Yeah, to get to this point, because you're over here trying to do graphic design internships. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're the voice of the Kings.
I wish it was that simple of a journey.
Yeah, exactly. I wish my journey was that simple too. So, so you in there? Did you get the internship?
No, because I switched to communications.
Okay.
I just kind of, I guess it was a pre-midlife crisis. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to do art. Maybe I want to do communications. So I remember I was at a Sac State baseball game, and I was 18, 19 years old. I was a loud knucklehead then. So like, I remember we went to a baseball game and we were just like heckling the guys in the outfield and like just being ridiculous. And a guy came over in a polo and I was like, oh crap, we're going to get kicked out, man. And the dude goes, hey, I like your enthusiasm. Do you want an internship in the sports marketing department? And I was like, what? Yes. And so I spent my entire college career from that point forward doing all the sports at Sac State. So like basketball, football, volleyball, soccer, gymnastics, everything. And so it was kind of this interesting, like, I kind of got to pretend to be the Kings. Like I had some really cool like bosses there, and they were like, yeah, if you come up with an idea for a contest or something, you want to put it in the game, let us know. Like they were asking me for all this advice. It was really cool to be a part of this like sports marketing department. And so at the end of that first year, my current boss that I still have at the Kings called up and was like, hey, anybody want an internship with the WNBA? And that's back when the Sacramento Monarchs were here. And I said, I'll do it. And I went to an interview and I became an intern for the Sacramento Monarchs, did not realizing that the same company also was the Sacramento Kings. So I was asked to kind of join as an intern for the Sacramento Kings, working for the game entertainment department. So that's like the live, all the stuff that goes on during the games, the timeouts, the dance teams, the mascots, the lights, the pyro. Like I got an internship in that department, and dude, I was hooked instantly, man, because I had grown up doing art. And like, if you're an artist and you paint something on a wall, your hope is that somebody someday walks by and feels some of the emotion you were trying to portray in that art piece. And then I learned really quickly in this like live entertainment world is you're still able to create this art and you're going to see the instant emotional reaction from a live audience. So in this weird way, like it kind of quenched this artistic side of me to be able to produce these live shows, to be able to like take people on an emotional ride of like, it's the fourth quarter, get excited, or, you know, an intro video that's hyped, or, you know, just the drama of a basketball game is it's thrilling to me. And there's nothing else like it in any kind of live theater or any other kind of. WWE might be the closest thing to it, right? Because they're producing those shows on the road. But anyway, I fell in love with that, man. And so I was like, I want to stick with this. So my journey went from intern to guy who threw out t-shirts on the court to Slamson's assistant, where I learned quite a bit. I was still in college at this time. Like I would go to him to birthday parties and like corporate events, and like more or less, like I kind of had to start being his spokesperson at some of these events. Like, hey guys, Slamson's excited to see you. So like, I kind of had this, like, I had to engage. And so then, you know, went from the mascot assistant role to a stage manager role, which is basically wearing a headset and putting the things out on the court, like the anthem singers or the props or those kind of things. And then kind of into a producer role where I was then starting to come up with what was actually happening at the timeouts and those kind of things. And it was around that time they wI transitioning out from our other MC, and literally my boss was like, you want to try it tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. And I did it the next day, dude. Like we were kind of sitting there. He kind of asked me, well, how would you do the half court shot? And I said, well, I'll just be like, hey, yo, dude, I'm here. And I'm here with Pete, and it's time for the half court shot. And he goes, you're going to do it tomorrow. And so I just did it, and never in my life did I think I would be doing any kind of public speaking. Because I remember even as a communications major in college, I had like one public speaking course and I dreaded it. Like I was talking in front of 20 other kids. Never in my life would I thought I would have an opportunity to MC for like an NBA team. And so while I was emceeing on the court, I was also kind of behind the scenes becoming as like a producer, like a creative director of entertainment, and like helping produce the shows from like very high level. And so like it's been pretty fun to have kind of the both sides of that. And right now, like I'm just living the dream, emceeing games, and yeah, it's been a heck of a ride.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Like, real quick, I gotta do a little sidebar here. Who in the hell did that to Russell Westbrook?
There goes my mic. Dude, I work with a hilarious group of guys, man. Like when I got hired back when I was 18, it was the same group of people that's doing it now. So like we've grown up together, like we're like a family, and we're all kind of have the same weird sense of humor. And so it was actually our audio guy, Dan, that kind of came up with, just because what happened originally was I was on the court and the players from the San Antonio Spurs were doing that bing bong, remember that thing that was kind of popular for a minute? So I kind of called up to the audio guy. I was like, hey, the players want to hear bing bong. And so like for like one or two games, it was a joke that there was a bing bong player of the game. So every time a dude would take a shot, you would hear bing bong. And so it would kind of get in the head of the like opposing team. So I showed up to the Lakers game and I saw they chose Russell Westbrook as the ice cold player of the game. And like, look, like there is a governing body over like game entertainment in the NBA. So there's somebody watching to make sure that you're not like pushing the limits. One of the rules is you can't single out like a specific player. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. And like, bro.
Hey, dude,
the history. But Russell Westbrook is a champ, man. Yeah. Like that guy is so cool. Like, and he kind of made, poked some fun at it and was laughing about it too. So like, he's a pro, man. Like I know, no hate for Westbrook. That guy's a freak athlete, man. I'm in awe.
Yeah, nah, that was dope, man. I was like, man, they did my boy wrong over here. Hey, so what's the process of coming up with the in-house entertainment over at the Golden One?
Yeah, man. So back in the day, well, I mean, we still do it now. It's something we call a coffee and creative, and it's kind of something that me and my buddy Mo started. He's the other director of entertainment, but we would take our whole team, lighting guy, audio guys, mascot, dance coach, like everybody goes to a coffee shop and we just get hyped on caffeine, man. I'm talking like we're gonna buy you a triple espresso, and we start just kind of vibing, talking about what we saw on TV over the weekend, and like something about our group, it has such a great chemistry that we start kind of like vibing and joking, and then I hit them with a topic and I say, okay, cool, what we need to do a shooting contest for Budweiser. And we just start talking, man. And like, I write down every idea we come up with. It's just like sitting in a room, hanging out with your buddies, talking about, hey, what if we did this? What if we did that? I just jot down every idea that we came up with. And then I turn it over to my buddy Mo and I go, here you go, Mo, which one of these can we actually do? Yeah. And he'll be like, this one's possible. This one's possible. This one's ridiculous. This one's going to get you thrown in jail. And so like, we actually kind of like weed through it and pick out the best ones, man. And some of those come to fruition and happen in game. And they're pretty spectacular. Like one of the ideas we came up with was, let's put 60 Jimmy Fallon heads behind the basket during a free throw. And with the hope that Jimmy Fallon would notice it and put it on his show, bro. And he did. So like, that's the kind of stuff that like, we have these weird ideas. Okay, let's try it. And holy crap, we just got talked about on the Tonight Show just by being weird, man. So we got the Kings some national exposure for, just being silly in arena.
Yeah. What about the SNL sketch? I know what's your thoughts on
Yo, I saw that, and like I know some people were offended, but like it was just the whole joke was everyone had COVID at the time, and arena fans had to play. So like I didn't take offense to it. I love any time we can get that logo on national TV, bro.
Yeah, like so many people were up in arms about it. I was like, you better be glad they picked the Kings. They could have picked anybody.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, man.
Hey, like, but we got some diehard fans though, man. They don't put up with no shit.
Hey, man, and that's why I love them, man. There's literally no better fan base in the NBA, man. And I've been lucky enough to go see most of these arenas. There's nothing. There's no loyalty like the fans in Sac, man.
Hey, for sure, man.
Special.
You just talked about the Jimmy Fallon heads. What are like some more of the wildest, weirdest things that you ever seen at the arena? We were real big with the cowbells back in the day. Anything else that you seen out there?
Oh, we do the weirdest stuff on a nightly basis. Sometimes a lot of the things that we're doing during the game are inside jokes. So like half of the things that I do, I am trying to copy like a professional wrestler or something. So like my people will be like, who are you going to be tonight? I'll be, oh, I'm going to be Chris Jericho. And I go out there and I go, yeah, baby. Like I do, or I'm going to be The Rock in the fourth quarter. So like, those are the things that we do on the inside of stuff. But like externally, as far as like, probably the most outrageous thing we did was when I was in college, like YouTube and like viral videos were just becoming a thing. And there was this guy named Sexy Sax Man. And I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you're listening, YouTube it. Okay. This dude basically would take his shirt off in grocery stores with a saxophone and play Careless Whisper, like on like the conveyor belt that gives your groceries over there. And so like, it was like the first viral video I had ever seen. And I thought it was hilarious. And so, dude, we brought him in to do the introductions for the Utah Jazz. So we brought in Sexy Sax Man to play some jazz during the intros for the Utah Jazz. And we got quickly told, don't ever do that again, man. So like, but those, it's all kinds of fun things.
Yeah.
We've ended up on, man, it literally is just like hanging out with your friends and like creating a live show. Like, hey, what kind of funny thing do you want to do tonight?
So so there's like people that you have to talk to before I know you said you were a producer. Are there, so you have this list, you guys getting high off this caffeine over at the Starbucks, getting fired up, and you pass off your list, your partner's like, yes, no, maybe, hell no. And then he takes that list to somebody else, or do you guys just like, fuck it, if we get in trouble, we get in trouble?
No, I mean, he kind of runs the things up the flagpole that might be potentially misinterpreted as offensive or anything. So Mo is basically like our filter. He's making sure if he says yes, it's good to go. Then what we would do is prior to that game starting is we would like rehearse whatever that element is. And that's what a lot of people probably don't see is that, the game days for the live entertainment team usually start a little bit before noon. And so you have, AV guys loading in, you get the big screen getting loaded up. There's actually a live rehearsal that we do before every single game. And so like we would rehearse that said skit. So like none of it is completely like improv on the spot. So there is a little bit of like pre-production that we do for it. But dude, it's fun, man. It's fun creating art with your friends.
Hey, so something crazy that was going over social media. Were you there when dude puked on the damn floor?
Dude, so I was there and I missed the entire thing, bro. Like I went into the back to get some water because on this particular game, I was just running like crazy. So I really literally went into the back for some water and I could hear music. And I was thinking in the background that it was like a dance cam because I just kept hearing the crowd go, oh. And I'm literally thinking, oh, there's like a dance off on the big screen or something.
Yeah.
And like literally not till after the game, somebody texted me and they're like, dude, somebody puked on the court. And I was like, what? So I was looking at it on Twitter. I had no idea. And I'm glad I wasn't close, man, because bro, the smell of vomit makes me want to, I don't feel good. It's stinky. That's a terrible smell.
It's a bad smell.
Terrible smell. But that dude was having a great night. You know what I mean? Like he like sat courtside at a Kings game. Mm-hmm. He got access to the clubs. He was living his life.
Yeah.
He just got a little too over the top, man. And he
might have mixed something,
yeah, we've all been there, right?
We've all been there.
Unfortunately for him, there were cameras and he was courtside.
Maybe not courtside at the Kings game, but
thank God there's been no cameras during our youth, man. Poor guy had to do it in front of everybody.
I always tell my kids, I'm like, man, if I would have had Instagram back when I was, Jesus, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I probably wouldn't even be here right now.
Dude, kids have it easy, man. I remember I used to have to call like the girl's house.
Yeah.
Talk to her dad.
Yeah, hopefully the dad didn't pick up.
Bro.
Or the mom. Or
times have changed. Right. Times have changed.
Yeah, you can snap pictures now, send them over, text, all this shit. One thing though, the kids don't sneak out no more. That's all they do is just chill. Like my kids, they just stay at the house. Like that's one thing. Like I really don't have to worry right now. I don't have to worry about our kids. Like, cause I used to be out my window. My sister was out her window. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we'll meet up. Be like, oh, we both leaving, huh?
So you're telling me kids don't like toilet paper houses anymore or any of that stuff?
They don't do nothing. They just sit
really?
They either sit on the phone, they play video. Like my kids. But when I talk to other parents, they along the same lines. But yeah, they just chill at the house, man. Like you gotta force them to go out sometimes.
Now that they're just gonna be able to hang out in the metaverse, man, they're not even gonna need to leave their house. Man, you're gonna walk into a room and what are you doing, man? Oh, I'm hanging out with my school.
Hey, this is parent corner real quick. I rolled up, like I heard my son, he's like upstairs and he's like, oh yeah, let's go over here. I go up there and he's literally in a party on the fucking video game. And I'm just like, yeah, and he's like sitting there, he's like, oh, change the music. And they all just doing the little dance and all this.
Dude,
I'm just like, how old am I right now?
Nobody's gonna leave the house ever again.
Oh, he was over there like, oh yeah, we just.
That's awesome, man. I want to do that, but I want to be like on top of a mountain, man.
Yeah, no,
I want to use VR for like meditation and just be like, all of a sudden I'm on top of Everest or I'm on a beach or I'm on stuff.
I did VR for the first time and it's scary good how good those graphics
are. Dude,
I
did a Star Wars VR thing in Vegas. Okay. I could feel the heat off the hot lava on Mustafar. That's how good it was, bro.
Hey, so all right, parent corner over. Hey, the best MC in the NBA. 7 all-star games. How did we get there?
Man, well, you know, I when I first was given that opportunity to MC, I said, if I'm gonna do this, I want to be authentically me. I'm not gonna I don't want to change myself up. I just want to be me when I go out there. And I said, okay, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm be authentic. And if I'm gonna do this, I want to be really good. So my goal is to do an all-star game. And so I always kind of had that goal. Like, if I'm doing this, I want to MC an all-star game. I want to see what that's like. And so the league actually, like I said, has a governing body over the game entertainment. Mm-hmm. And so they keep their eyes on who's doing well. So there are mascots that are really good in the NBA and those are the ones that usually get picked. And so I got picked, man. I got picked to do, it wasn't the all-star game the first time. Okay. It was one of the smaller events and it was so much fun. And they just kept bringing me back, dude, 7 years in a row. And eventually I did all-star Saturday night with the dunk contests and the all-star games. And that's been a pretty crazy thing. And so for me, who's, I'm just an announcer for the NBA, there's no, most jobs don't have a recognition program where you're an all-star, you get to go do this. Most people are hey, you're the employee of the month. And so for me to keep getting picked 7 years in a row, mm-hmm. Man, it felt really good, man. It was validating. I made the right choice to try and MC. This is hella fun. It's cool to be recognized.
No, it's awesome. Walk the folks through, a all-star weekend. I know you weren't one of the people. I heard, I think it was last year, whenever Atlanta was, I heard there was a U-Haul full of girls sleeping in the U-Haul.
Really? Well, that was the one year I wasn't there, so that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sure they're not putting you up in the U-Haul. But walk us through an all-star weekend for people that haven't been.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, the NBA takes care of you. They pay for your flight. You land. There is a van, and there's a dude with your name on an iPad. Man, they treat you like you're an NBA all-star. It is over the top amazing how well the NBA treats you. Mm-hmm. Get shuttled to your hotel. And this is usually on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And then the next Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Saturday, you're in rehearsal, man. So like not only is like the best MCs pick, but like this sounds funny, like the best cameraman, the best graphic coordinator, the best director of the video board. Like, so
it's
they
truly
pick the best of
it's
all
truly
the
all-star everything.
It's an all-star cast. And so like, you know, we're all kind of learning each other during this rehearsal. So you're not necessarily working with the same directors, producers, stage managers. So you rehearsed for, you know, 2 or 3 straight days. And a lot of it is, you know, just reading the script in a room. And then you do some on-court stuff. And then eventually the day of the game comes and you execute what you've been rehearsing for 3 days and you pray that it goes as planned, man. I've been a part of some very successful skits at All-Star Weekend. And I've been a part of some really tough ones, man. Like when I did the All-Star game in Los Angeles, it was the Property Brothers. You know who the Property Brothers are?
Yeah.
They're on like they're a TLC. Like one like renovates the house, the other one sells it. Well, they're identical twins, bro.
My daughter loves them. Like she just sits there and watches.
Can she tell the difference between the two of them?
Yeah, well, I think one has like a beard now or something. Like,
well, that would have been nice if they had that. Of course, like they did a contest and they decided to switch who was wearing what jersey right before, and so like this whole contest went to heck. So things don't always go great in live entertainment. It's one take, man. That's why I kind of love it. Like you get one shot at it, dude. And in that way, it's kind of like pro wrestling. And in that way, I'm fulfilling my dream of being a pro wrestler, which will never happen.
No, let's talk
but in
about
my mind,
because I think, you know, we might lose some viewers right here because I'm a big pro wrestling since I go to every single,
same.
You know, Raw, Hell in the Cell. I was there with that when they first did that red cage and everybody was booing.
I missed that one. That was the one that I missed, bro. Dude, I was in India. I couldn't go to it.
It was so bad,
bro.
It was
where the Hell in the Cell ended with a disqualification.
Yeah.
Since when?
Since when? Exactly.
And if you're gonna disqualify, why didn't you DQ Mankind and the Undertaker? Like,
well, you know, like it's like, why didn't you do that? That should have been the first one. Why did they put Becky and Sasha? Sasha and Becky should have been the last match. If you're gonna do a DQ finish, you know, like I spent a lot of money on those damn tickets. You know what I mean? So yeah, but
I love wrestling.
We could talk more all day about WWE, AEW, all that shit, but you know, I'm starting to get looks from this side. Hey, what was the most memorable moment of an All-Star Weekend other than the Property Brothers?
I had a really fun skit with Kevin Hart and Usain Bolt. You can YouTube it. It's pretty funny where we had this skit where Kevin beat Usain Bolt off on your mark, get set, go, and it actually beat Usain Bolt in this layup contest. Okay. Look it up on YouTube. That's really cool. The coolest moment that has ever happened to me, though, as an MC, it wasn't at an All-Star Weekend. It was at a USA basketball event. I got asked to MC Team USA versus Brazil for like these exhibition games in DC before they went to the Olympics. I want to say this is 2010. I can't remember what year, but dude, Barack Obama was in the front row, dude. And bro, I really have never gotten nervous doing my job. I get excited, like the emotion is there. But when I tell you, man, that my kneecaps started shaking, bro, because I see Secret Service, I see Michelle, I'm like, oh man, the president is watching this. Like that was a trip for me. And that was probably the most memorable. And it produced one of the more memorable events. Mm-hmm. So like, you know how teams do the kiss cam?
Yeah.
So they put Michelle and Barack on kiss cam and like Barack didn't kiss her, man. Like he kind of did the, like, just the way, like just trying to play it PC, and bro, the place started booing, like boo. So the game continued, and Secret Service walked over to the game director and was like, the president would like to have another shot at the kiss cam. And so like, usually you would never do kiss cam 2 timeouts in a row. We did it. Next time out, he plants one on her, bro. The place like cheered like it was like Stone Cold coming out, man. It was like the place reacted big time. It was awesome,
man.
Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh man, that's awesome, man.
Very cool, dude.
I know you, and that was great. Obama, Michelle, I know you met, a lot of athletes out there, and one that we lost a couple years ago, Kobe.
Yeah.
How did you guys have, banter? Did you guys talk? Like what was your guys' relationship?
He has no idea who I am. No, okay. I'm just kidding. I don't know to what extent they actually know of what actually is going on in the arena behind them. But ironically enough, that same weekend of that Team USA, I did do a contest with Kobe Bryant, and I have a picture of it where like he's not like next to me, but it's me and him on a court. Like Kobe is somebody that when I was growing up and I was a diehard Kings fan, I did not like him, man. Like you feared him. Like how many players do you fear? Like coming in, like Shaq and Kobe. Like I did not like them. They gave me fear, bro, because I knew what they could do, bro. Like, and so as a fan, I was scared of the guy because he's one of the best of all time. And then kind of what happens is, you start to get older, and I like to think I'm a little bit more mature. Like I just become such a fan of the game and what people have accomplished. And like, there just became a point where I just stopped hating and started respecting, if that sounds right. Yep. And that was probably 4 or 5 years before his accident. And so from that point forward, it was just like special guy, man. Like when he stepped on the court, like you felt it. Like LeBron is like that. Steph is like that. Michael Jordan was like that. Shaq, like that's an upper echelon of like, you don't know what this guy's about to do on the court. Like, so like tons of respect for Kobe, especially, after he retired. And like, it is so weird going from hating him to cheering him on his retirement game. Saw when he scored 65 points that night. Like so it's kind of cool. Like a lot of the things as I become an adult, like the things that I didn't like as a kid, like I respect now. And like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It kind of comes full circle.
Yeah, you definitely like look back and be like, hey, why was I being such an asshole back then?
Right. But at the time they were at, those were some of the biggest battles in the NBA, man, when the Kings and Lakers took on. Like, it was high anxiety, dude.
Is there a 30 for 30 for that? There has to be.
You would think that at some point they'll do a series on just that playoff series.
Definitely. Yeah, I was at that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. I was a senior in high school.
Don't be dating me.
Don't be fooled. I got gray hair in my beard, man.
Hey, me too. There. That's why I sit so far back now. Hey, all right. Our next segment is top 5. You ready for some top 5, Scott?
Yeah.
All right. Top 5 cities for All-Star Weekend.
That I've experienced or in general?
Experienced.
New York was probably no, I'll take it back. New Orleans, because that was the first big event that I did. That was the
smaller one.
Yeah, but it was the first time I got to do the slam dunk contest.
Okay, cool.
So New Orleans was number 1. New York would be number 2. Where else did we go? LA was nice. I got to go to Disneyland one of the days in between rehearsals. Toronto was awesome. I really enjoyed Toronto. It was -10, but again, that was like my first game I got to MC, the All-Star game. And so like, again, it's a special place. And then finally, Charlotte is a nice city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Top 5 favorite NBA players.
Chris Webber would be number 1.
All right.
I don't know if we're talking current or whatever.
Nah, it's your list, man.
Chris Webber for sure. Loved to see Webb's game. I loved Ray Allen. I loved the way he shot. And then obviously can't hate on Steph Curry, man. I'd put Steph Curry on that list, man. Like, man, that guy's insane.
Where's Steph Curry in the Mount Rushmore? Did he make it to Mount Rushmore yet?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, he's evolved the game to this new echelon, man, and the records that he's broken and the person and the character of which he has, like, bro, I can't say a bad thing about it, man. He's just a superstar every sense of the word. So I got Steph, Ray, C-Web. I like a lot of these obscure guys, man. I liked Amari Stoudemire's game quite a bit. I like that power forward, that explosive power forward. And you know what? Call me a homer, but I'm really liking Tyrese Halliburton's game.
Yeah, no, he's doing great.
So that's my top five list. It's a very unconventional list, but it's the guys that I like.
Hey, I would put that team out on the court.
You know what? I might even put Ben Wallace in my top five. I love watching that guy play too. Just a tough, gritty defender, ton of rebounds. Like, yeah, I just am a fan of the game.
Man, yeah, Ben Wallace, straight beast.
Big time.
Top 5 NBA mascots.
Slamson is number 1. This guy doesn't get enough props. He's the funniest mascot in the NBA. A lot of other mascots are just jumping off trampolines. Nobody is the performer like my man Slamson. He can dance. He can improv. He's the funniest performer, and he keeps getting better year in, year out. I'm putting Slamson number 1.
All right.
Print that. Number 2, this is going to be controversial. Squatch. He doesn't exist anymore. That was the Seattle Supersonics, man. They had a Bigfoot mascot named Squatch. He was amazing. And when they went to Oklahoma, then he became a different character. But I'm a big fan of that guy. Also, the Utah Bear, another great guy. I really like. I'm going to make people mad if they. I like Hugo the Hornet. He's hilarious. And then I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to go with the Gorilla. He's an institution.
Yep.
Top 5 mascots right there, bud.
All right, cool, man. So, all right. So our next segment coming in hot.
Cool.
So this is any topic that you want to get off your chest. It could be about the Kings. It could be political. It could be religious. It could be whatever you want. All right, Scott?
Yes.
So, Scott, it is time to come in hot. What you got?
Yes. I want to talk about something that you would probably be shocked to hear is one of my biggest interests in life. Existentialism, my man. The question of who are we? Why are we here? What is our purpose? What is this? Are we real? So I am really fascinated with meditation, yoga, pranayama. I like learning about certain religions like Buddhism and Hinduism, Christianity. I've been reading the Tao Te Ching, which is kind of the basis of Taoism. And I really enjoy finding all the cool similarities between all of these out there theories to all this ancient wisdom. And the reason I brought that all up to the table is because I think now more than ever, human beings need to look at some of these different ways to improve our experience. I think a lot of people are suffering in the world right now. I think everybody you could talk to is carrying some sort of a pain. People are living with their thoughts in the past. They're living with their thoughts in the future. Being present is the greatest gift. If you're living in the present moment, you're thankful for the things around you. You're thankful for the interactions that you have. You're not worrying about the future or the past. And so I think it kind of ties into mental health, but if you want me to talk about what's coming in hot, I'm going to talk about how the importance of taking care of our mind and our soul are to our overall well-being. A lot of people will go to the gym, but not a lot of people are working out their brains and their spiritual side, man. And I want to tell you, if you can tap into some of those things, you will feel more complete as a person. You will get to know yourself on a different level. And so I'm just here to kind of sing and preach the usefulness of meditation, yoga, and a lot of these ancient spiritual mindful arts that could really help a lot of people listening right now, because man, it is a walking hotbed out there, man. You want to talk about people coming in hot, man. It's just like everyone's ready to snap. Yeah. And so like I think it's a great opportunity people to kind of catch their breath and go, humans are not here to fight in Walmart over, whatever. Like it's so like it's just that's kind of my interest right now.
No, and that's
didn't mean to get all deep on you.
No, man. Like if you go back in the episodes, we get there. Like I'm big on mental health, self-care.
Yeah.
Especially in the business that I am in restaurants, like that's one real
non-stop
big
stress.
Yes, that's all it is.
What's coming next? I got to think about what's next.
Yeah. And you got to get up and you go and, like if I didn't have, every Monday, 10 a.m., my therapist and, I have 2 back-to-back podcasts and another therapy session for me. And then every day, just trying to stay, in shape and, keeping that brain active and, trying to find new things and try to pick up a book here and there. So
that's great, man. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing that because, I think sometimes people don't realize where they are in their mental state. Like people might not know that they're depressed or they know that like, why am I always mad? Like, why am I always pissed off? Like what, so like, I hope if you're listening, maybe you just kind of check in with yourself, man. Be like, am I angry? Am I sad? Am I depressed? Am I thinking about the future? Like, because every opportunity exists to make it just a little bit better, man. And everything you just said, like, you have to take time for yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup.
No, man, that's amazing. One last thing I need to ask you.
Yeah.
Can I get a Kings intro, please?
Okay. But this isn't actually me. I'm not actually the one that does the starting 5. That's Scott Moak. And we're both named Scott. And people think we're the same people, which is funny because I have a beard. I guess
just give me some, Scott.
Okay, so what do you want? Like, where'd you give me your stat line? 6'6" out of what? Give it to me, brother.
Oh, I'm 6'3", 230 out of Sacramento. Strawberry Manors, baby.
Strawberry Matters.
Yes, sir.
I didn't need your weight, but thank you for that. All right. You got a nickname? How do you want me to?
Big C. That's what they call
Big
me,
C?
man. Yeah, Big C.
Big C. All right. Well, I'm actually going to do my impression of Scott Moak.
Okay.
But with a little bit of Scott Freshour twist.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing 6'3", weighing 230 pounds from Sacramento, Strawberry Matters. It's Big C. That was kind of a little WWE in there.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I loved it. Thank you so much, man.
For parts unknown. Big C.
Hey, go ahead and plug what you got to plug. Socials. Somebody wants to email you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm really only public on Twitter, Scott_fresh.
Okay.
The rest is just pictures of my kids and my dogs and stuff. So follow me on Twitter. And if you want to learn more about some of the projects I've produced, you can go to scottfreshour.com. Some examples of some of my work and my freelance work. So if you need help with anything, hey, give me a shout and check in with yourself. That's all I ask. Check in with yourself today. See how you're doing. And if you need to hit me up for ideas on how to get there, tweet me.
Yeah. And,
happy to help.
And one thing I'll just add to that, just every morning when you open your eyes, start from the head all the way down. Hey, how's my shoulder feeling? How my knees feeling? Like that just takes a lot of, and then just take 5 minutes just to lay there.
Yep.
Don't think about shit but your body.
Right. A little meditation morning routine.
Work on your breathing.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott Freshour.
Happy to be here, Big C.
Coming in hot. Hey, make sure you subscribe to Coming In Hot wherever you listen to your podcast. You can check us out on YouTube as well. If you want to holler at me, at Chef Cease, at Coming In Hot. If you want those beautiful, delicious, mouth-watering hot chicken sandwiches, www.nashandproper.com. I love you guys. Peace.